here at the BizLynks Center, and I'm here with Mr. Tony Martin of the World Chamber of Commerce as Executive Director. Mr. Martin, can you expound on the financial aspect of today's society? How do you see the economy in the U.S. as it relates to the economy in other countries, and is the U.S. going to come out of this pretty soon?
Well, from a perspective of how healthy the U.S. economy is, the U.S. economy still drives the world markets. The U.S. dollar is still the reserve currency of the world. So from a perspective, just to give you an idea, in order to change the currency, the reserve currency from the U.S. dollar to another currency, we're talking at least 55, 60 years out. Because initially we were thinking that the euro would become the reserve currency, but the euro is having its challenges. And also when you think of, when I mentioned earlier about the BRIC nation, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, their monetary policy is so different, so they can't become the world currency. So when are we going to come out of this financial stall, so to speak?
Exactly.
So when you look at what's taking place, Fortune 500 corporation has about $2.3 trillion of capital on the books.
Okay.
So the corporations aren't challenged. It's the individual consumer, the unemployment rate. It's the homes are really having the challenges. So from a perspective of as the world goes, we really are interconnected. If nothing else, we learned in 2008 that we're more global than we realized. So even though Europe is having its problems, it's impacting the world. So we're all going to have to come out of this together, and when one section of the economy is weak or weakened, it's going to impact us all. We have to be able to make those adjustments based on what we rely on from Europe. If they're having challenges, we have to make sure we're not exposed to a point where it impacts us here as much. If I'm invested in Europe, 40%, well, maybe I need to scale it back to 7% until they get their economic policy in place.
Thank you for that. And quick question, just to kind of put you on the spot. With the Day in the Life of Business as a platform for educating people, could you see yourself wanting to pursue further possible education seminars on finances here with the Day in the Life of Business?
Why not? Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I do, I go to a lot of schools, universities, and I speak at Georgia Tech, speak at Clark Atlanta, speak at Morehouse, and also speak at other organizations. And so from that perspective, I always look to give back, look to provide that learning component, because 3, 5, 7 years ago, the information I'm telling you now, I didn't know.
Right.
So I understand that there's a learning platform that's afforded to you, but at the same time, the fear of understanding finances is just as fearful for people to understand finances as it is to do public speaking.
This is very true. So with that being said, what did you think about our platform overall?
That was excellent. I thought the quality and the caliber of the panelists was great. The questions were excellent. It stimulated a lot of thought. Because if nothing else, the questions that you ask, most information is captured in the questions that you ask, not necessarily the answers that are given. So that's one of the things that I found by participating in a lot of panels. Panelist type discussions was the questions. So you asked some good questions, so that was good.
Well, thank you for joining us here at the BizLynks Center. I'm Tony Black for A Day in the Life of Business, right here with the Executive Director, Mr. Tony Martin of the World Chamber of Commerce. Visionary Peoples and Real Talk with Tony Black. We'll be back.